Hey everyone, I'm just making a video for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Let's just go ahead and just start playing. We haven't seen this game for a while. I made a video featuring this game a couple years ago and haven't featured it since then, but I'm here in front of the driving school. I guess I didn't finish all the gold things because I don't have the gold car here, but that's fine. Actually, this car is probably better. I like this car. The gold car is called the Hot Knife, if I remember right, but I think I like this car better anyhow. Let's go ahead and oh, you know, I probably should turn off the music so I don't get any. Oh, thank you for the offer, madam, but I'm making a video. Sorry. Let's see which. Let's stick with this. Yeah, here we go. Let's just go for a drive. And I really have no particular reason to be making this video. I'm just making it because, I don't know, I guess I'm in a mood to just chat about some random pointless things. Because it's Christmas Eve. And what else is there to do on Christmas Eve except just chat about some random pointless things, right? I didn't do a Christmas stream this year. The main reason for that was because I sort of got the feeling that the interest in them was waning. In previous years, I've tended to do at least one stream per year, typically around the end of the year, but I didn't do one this year because the last Christmas stream that I did last year, at the end of last year, didn't really get that many views. It seemed like people are kind of losing interest in the whole idea, which is fine. That's okay. But yeah, I'm realizing, well, not only now, I've realized for a long time that I'm past my peak. In fact, I think that point happened already in like 2010. Already around like 2010, when I took my first big break from YouTube for a few years, somebody told me, quite honestly, face it, man, you're already old news. And they were right. I did pretty well when I first started making Let's Plays on YouTube. I got more successful than I expected to, and I think there were several reasons for that. But I think one big reason was just that Let's Playing was still kind of new. It was still a new thing back. I mean, YouTube was still new then. YouTube had only been around for a few years. When I started making videos on YouTube, YouTube itself had only existed for like 3 years, I think. And the idea of making videos featuring, you know, somebody playing computer games and commentating on them was even newer than that. That was only something that had existed for like maybe a year. I think I was one of the first people, not one of the very first people, but one of the first, you know, among the first group of people to really start doing that on YouTube. So it was just fortuitous timing, and I got kind of big. I mean, not big, but I got a few thousand regular viewers, which was pretty good at the time. But I didn't stay big, and my views went down. I'm not upset about that. I don't feel bad. I don't regret. You know, I don't lament it. I don't lie awake at night thinking, why don't people watch my videos anymore? Oh no, why did it become less popular? But I realized that, you know, I'm less popular, less interesting to people than I was at one point in time, and that's fine. I can do other stuff with my life. I don't have to just make YouTube videos. It's funny, I actually just saw, I literally just now just watched Veritasium's latest video. Veritasium is that guy who, well, not the guy, the guy is named, what is his name? I think his name's Derek. Veritasium is not a person's name, it's the name of that guy's YouTube channel where he makes great videos about science. One of my favorite YouTube channels. I mean, there are a lot of great YouTube channels making lots of great content, but Veritasium has been one of my favorites. He just makes the most mind-blowing science and math videos, just really incredible stuff. Anyway, he just made a video now, like today, just a few hours ago, saying that he's becoming less involved in his channel because, you know, he's gotten older, time moves on, he's got a family now, he's married, he's got children, he's got other things to do with his life. He doesn't just want to spend his whole life focusing on his YouTube channel, which is perfectly understandable. Absolutely understandable. I fully understand and fully approve of his decision to prioritize his family over his YouTube channel. I don't have a family, so I really have no reason to not make YouTube videos. I just didn't make that many of them lately because I just stopped being popular. People just stopped watching them. I mean, that's not true. My videos still get like 100 views per video, but just seemed in general that people were becoming less interested, which is understandable. Oh wait, are we, hold on, where are we? Oh, we're right here by, close to Verdant Meadows. That's my favorite place in this game. Let's go there. I love Verdant Meadows. It's the place where all good things happen. Not where all good things happen, but it's the place where the best things happen, at least, in this game. There it is right there, right up ahead. It's your own airport, your own airstrip. Cool, I got an insane stun bonus, that's nice. Anyway, so Veritasium, or I keep calling him Veritasium, I forget his name. I think his name is Derek, but I'll just call him Veritasium because for some reason I think of him as having that name in my mind, even though it's obviously not his actual name. Let's just go ahead and let's get in a helicopter. And by the way, before I forget, I just want to describe, let me just recreate something that happened to me some years ago. Oh, I need to turn off that music. So, I've been playing this game since it came out. In fact, this game was gifted to me by my ex-wife when it came out, which is probably one of the best gifts that I've ever received because it is just such a great game. Anyway, I still remember one point in time when I was playing this game, and I did something like... There's a thing down there. Is that a bird? I guess. Anyway, I took off just like this, except it was in the other helicopter. This is the military helicopter. I took off the other one, the Leviathan. And I just started going like this. And the sun was just coming up. I mean, now it's daytime, but the sun was just coming up. And it just so happened that the music that was playing was that Voodoo Ray track from a guy called Gerald, which is on, you know, the SFUR radio station in this game. And it all just came together so beautifully. It's really hard to describe. It's one of those moments where just like, it's a very personal moment. Like, it probably doesn't sound that great describing it in retrospect, but I was taking off, literally flying into the sunrise, which, you know, kind of symbolizes the new day, the dawning of a new day. Taking wing in a helicopter, which is one of my favorite things to do in this game. I like helicopters. And that really cool music was playing. I mean, I personally like that track. It's just a very mellow track. It's just a very beautiful sort of moody kind of mood track. It's nothing super special. It just kind of has a nice... It has a very positive sort of energy to it. And just that music and the flying into the sunset and the act of sort of just suddenly taking off flying in itself all just came together. And for me, it was one of the most beautiful experiences, one of the most beautiful moments that I've ever had playing any kind of computer or video game. For no other reason than just that, you know, just the experience. Just that audio and visual interactive experience of flying in such a beautiful setting at such a beautiful time with such lovely music sort of accompanying me on my way. It just, you know, was great. I just remember that it's one of my happiest moments playing any computer game. I'll come back to that later, hopefully. Anyway, so I was talking about Veritasium, and one thing that Veritasium mentioned in his video that he just uploaded now is, or earlier today, like a few hours ago, is that already in, what was the year, 2018, I think he said, his person at YouTube, he didn't, I think he literally said, like, my person at YouTube, or my contact at YouTube, my contact person at YouTube told me that I needed to stay relevant. And I know exactly what that means, because, like I said, I was one of the first people on YouTube to do Let's Play videos, I think. Certainly one of the first people to do, you know, to kind of become associated with old DOS games, and especially adventure games, and especially Sierra adventure games. You know, I was one of the people who sort of became synonymous with that on YouTube, which is kind of nice. I mean, it was a small community. It was just a few thousand people at most, but still, I was... apparently I was known for that back in the day. But I didn't stay very relevant. People don't watch my videos that much today, and there are many reasons for that. Obviously, one reason is just a lot of other people are making Let's Plays now. There's so many people making videos of themselves playing games that people have more choice now. You know, back then there weren't that many people, now there are. So there are more people, you know, I have more competition. And I say that kind of jokingly. I don't see people as my competition. I'm not here to compete against anyone. I'm not here to get the most views. I'm not trying to beat anyone or win any kind of contest. I'm just making videos that I'd like to make and share. But I mean, there are more people doing it, and so that's why I think one reason why I have fewer views these days. And another reason is I've stuck mostly to a very specific type of game. Mostly I've, done adventure-type games or the types of DOS games. And, those are not really the most popular kind of game. Most people these days want to see RPGs, or they want to see first-person shooters, both of which are, okay. Like, I've got nothing personally against first-person shooters. I just think that, I don't know that I could really intelligently comment on one for a whole game. And role-playing games. I don't really play RPGs because most of the time a lot of them are just focused on combat grinding, which I don't find much fun, and somehow I don't feel like it makes for a good video. Even though other people are making a lot of videos about that kind of thing now. And for retro games, I mean, there are still people who like retro games, videos about retro computer games or video games, but most retro people are focused on consoles, so they're very focused on NES games, or SNES games, or Genesis games, which was called, I believe, the Mega Drive in Europe, or other, console games, like maybe early PlayStation games, whatever. But, they're very focused on console games. There's not a lot of interest in these kind of early 90s DOS games. That's a very kind of limited niche audience. And when I started making videos was right around the time when people who grew up with those games were getting old enough to feel a little bit nostalgic about them, because those people were kind of in their 20s, just as I was at that point in time, and so those were people in their 20s or maybe 30s who were starting to feel nostalgic about the DOS games they played in their youth. And so it was the perfect time for me to be making YouTube videos about those games and appeal to that audience. Today, those people are now a little bit older. I am about to turn 44 myself, which is not very old. I mean, not very old, but old enough that, I'm feeling the passage of time. And other people in my age range are as well, and they've probably moved on to other things in life. Most of them are probably, raising families by now, or moving on to other bigger things. But I never really moved on. I'm still doing the same thing that So I'm just flying aimlessly. I'm not really focusing on where I'm flying. I'm focusing more on what I'm saying. So I'm probably not flying to very interesting places. I should probably fly to somewhere that's a little more visually interesting to look at. I don't really think about where I'm flying. I just like flying. I just like flying around. It's just something that I can do for hours. Anyway, and another thing that probably that contributes to my videos being less popular is my video style and my editing style is pretty boring. I mean, I don't edit my videos at all. Like, in almost every video that I make, I just start recording, and when I'm done, I just upload the result. I do no editing on my videos. I just record and upload, that's it. Which I think is fine, honestly. Like, for me, that's fine. Like, I don't really expect a lot of editing. I just want to see what people did in the video. I don't feel the need to do a lot of editing. I don't feel the need to have a lot of, cuts, like, video cuts interspersed with clips from other things, or sound effects or other effects kind of overlaid into the video. I don't need any of that. I just want to see the video of somebody playing a game. So again, this is just me making the types of videos that I would want to see, but I realize that people's tastes have maybe changed, because most YouTube videos that I see are edited in some way these days. I don't know why. It seems a little unnecessary to me. At least if you're making a Let's Play. Like, if you're making a video about something, if you're making some kind of documentary video about something, or some kind of produced video, that's one thing, then yeah, you do editing on that. But not if you're just, if you're just making a video of yourself playing a game, then just make a video of yourself playing a game. That's all you need. Just one take, done, upload the video. No editing required. That's my philosophy, if you can call it a philosophy, but I'm sure that other people would disagree. Just flying over the Las Venturas Strip here. Sorry, I was trying to think of the in-game name. It's the Las Venturas Strip, of course. Speaking of which, I just realized recently, I just watched a recent video about Las Vegas, and I realized that Las Vegas has also kind of lost its appeal. It's just too expensive. I mean, who wants to travel to Vegas to lose a bunch of money in casinos? It was something that appealed to people with a lot of money, like upper middle class people back in the day, but the upper middle class has kind of disappeared in America. The demographic of people who could and would travel to Vegas just to lose a few $1,000 in a slot machine or on a blackjack table and consider that a good time, consider that time well spent, like a good vacation time for the whole family. That kind of demographic has kind of disappeared. Vegas has sort of lost its luster as well. Anyway, that's another thing. Sorry, but yeah, I just wanted to say that about Veritasium. He was talking about the need to stay relevant on YouTube, and I totally understand because I kind of lost my relevance on YouTube. Whereas he didn't. He invested, like he doubled down on his channel and invested in it and added a bunch of things to it, added a bunch of staff. And today's videos are more, you can watch this video if you want. His videos today are more professional, much more produced, much more polished, and they're also a lot longer than ever. But what comes with that is that he's kind of planning to take a step back. He's going to be less visible in the videos because, he wants to move on to other things with his life, which, again, I totally understand that. Hey, there's a helicopter landing pad here. Do we want to land the helicopter? Actually, I don't really. I don't really feel the need to walk around or drive around on the ground when you can fly. I know people think of GTA as a driving game, but for me it's not. At least not when you can fly. I mean, yeah, the early games were because you didn't have much choice. You could either walk or drive, but why would you drive when you can fly? That's my attitude anyway. It's my preference. I know some people don't like flying in games. I know some people were turned off by the flight school in this game, but I actually personally liked it. I enjoyed it. Anyway. I know I'm rambling, but that's kind of the point. I mean, I don't really have a specific point with this video. I just wanted to kind of talk about a couple of things. So yeah. I think my YouTube channel definitely could have become a lot bigger, because like I said, I was kind of in the right place at the right time. If I had capitalized on it, I could definitely have made it bigger. But I didn't want to chase the money because, to me it all just seemed like something kind of short-term. That's the thing. It's like, fame in general tends to be short-term. I mean, it's always been the case that fame has been kind of fleeting. People have some band has a big hit with some song, or some actor or director has some movie that really takes off and breaks big, but it's rare for people to be able to hold on to fame. And I think in YouTube that's even more so. A lot of people who became very, very big on YouTube have sort of become invisible, have kind of lost their relevance. For various reasons. I mean, PewDiePie deliberately took a step back. PewDiePie became less visible because he kind of retired. It's not because it wasn't involuntary, it was because he specifically wanted to take some time away from YouTube and focus on... Again, I mean, he also has a child now. He's married. He also has a child, or I think maybe more than one. I don't know. I'm not keeping up with his personal life. I mean, I don't feel the need to keep updated with what he's doing with his life, but I know he had at least one child with Marja, his wife, so, he's got other things to do with his life as well. Again, I do not, but that's another story. So, I didn't try to capitalize on my channel. I didn't try to make my channel more popular. Didn't try to do things to maximize my views or my subscribers, because I kind of figured that thing wouldn't last long. I definitely could have been a lot bigger than I am. I definitely could have probably gotten into the... I don't know if I could have gotten 100,000 subscribers. That might be a bit ambitious, but I definitely could have gotten at least 10,000 or more if I'd really wanted to. Probably would have been that difficult at that time. Today it would be a lot harder, but I think at that time it definitely would have been. What did I hit? This game does have some problems with pop-up. This was a time when this game's almost 20 years old. Actually, wait, I said almost, but I'm not even sure that it's almost 20 years old. It might actually be 20 years old now. So, graphics technology was a bit different back then. Anyhow, yeah, I just never pursued fame on YouTube because I always kind of felt that it would be fleeting. Most people who get really big on YouTube don't stay big for long. And I wanted to do something that was a little bit more lasting because I'm always thinking about the future. I'm not one of those people who acts impulsively. I tend not to do things just for the here and now. I'm not very good at living in the moment, which is kind of a blessing and a curse. I mean, it's good because I tend to plan ahead, but it's also bad because I have problems. Like, I actually have difficulty enjoying things because I'm always thinking about what's going to happen next. And people often tell me, why don't you just live in the moment? Why don't you just enjoy what you have now? And I'm like, yeah, it's actually hard. It's difficult for me. Like, honestly, it's difficult for me to just enjoy the present. I'm always thinking about what'll happen in the future. It's good and bad. It has its good and bad sides. So yeah, that's kind of where things went with me and my YouTube channel. I definitely could have done a lot more with this channel. Definitely could have become a lot bigger, I think. Become a lot more famous. But somehow I didn't really want to. I just wanted to keep doing the things that I enjoy doing and not feel the need to try to steer the channel towards what makes money. So I've never made any money with the channel. I've never monetized my channel. I still kind of feel like that was the right thing to do. I don't regret that. I don't regret not monetizing the channel. I don't think that monetizing it would have ended well for me and the kinds of videos that I make, my kind of personal style of making videos. And it kind of reminds me of I'm also hearing a lot lately about the subscription apocalypse, or whatever you want to call it, the subscription meltdown, where subscriptions are getting all crazy. It was a few years ago that you could subscribe to Netflix, and Netflix was it. You'd have Netflix and you'd watch a ton of stuff on Netflix. You'd have a ton of movies and TV shows there. You could watch whatever you wanted there. That was it. Just watch Netflix and chill. But then things split. Now you have what do you have? You have, I don't even know. I actually don't watch television. I do not watch television or movies because I don't like to sit and watch things. I prefer to do things. That's why I play games. I prefer to have an interactive experience. I don't like to just sit and watch other people do things. So I don't even watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't watch movies or TV mostly. So I don't have any such services. I don't subscribe to Netflix or anything else, but I know they have other services like there's Disney Plus, there's Paramount Plus, there's Amazon Prime Video, there's I think it's called Peacock, which is NBC because the NBC Peacock logo. Anyway, you know what I mean. You've got all these streaming services now. I don't use any of them. Never have, because, well, two reasons. I mean, first of all, because I don't watch television anyway. I don't watch things. I would rather play things. And secondly, I don't like subscriptions. I don't mind paying once for something. Like, I'll buy a movie or a game or something once, but I don't want to have recurring charges for something that I might not use that much, because I don't watch enough TV shows or play enough games to make any kind of subscription to any kind of service like that worthwhile. So I know PlayStation has some kind of subscription service now. Xbox does as well. I think even the Nintendo Switch has one. I don't use any of those because I don't want to have to pay a recurring fee to play games when I can just buy a game once as a one-time fee and then just play it as much as I want. I know that that's kind of the reason why. I mean, that's exactly the reason why businesses prefer these subscription models now, because it's guaranteed revenue for them. It's a recurring monthly income for them, as opposed to the one-time kind of fee that you used to pay when you bought a movie or a game. So I know that's why businesses prefer subscriptions, but no, I don't go for that. I don't even do it with games. Like, I don't Like the exception that I always hear is Steam. People always talk about Steam and say, you know, the one. Well, Steam is not a subscription service specifically, but the games sold on Steam do have DRM. And I think I've mentioned this many times in the past that I don't use Steam because it is DRM. Like people will say we don't like DRM, but we'll make an exception for Steam. Steam is okay as DRM. For me, it's not. For me, it's like no, Steam is also DRM. I don't buy games on Steam. I've never once in my life bought anything on Steam. Probably never will. The only place I buy games today is GOG. Because GOG games don't have DRM. That's specifically why I only buy games there. You buy the game once and that's it. It's yours. You have it. You can keep playing the game forever. It has no DRM. I don't know why people would buy things on Steam, quite honestly. It does not appeal to me. It never has. That's why I've never bought anything on Steam. And it might sound like I'm rambling, but there is sort of a thread here. That there is sort of like a common thread that ties all this together, because it's the same idea. It's like... I used to be big on YouTube for a little while, and then I stopped because I wasn't, I just didn't capitalize on it. I didn't do things to try to get repeat views. I just focused on what I wanted to do. And it's kind of like the whole subscription thing. Like companies want to lock you in. They want to keep you. They want to kind of keep you in this subscription model. They want to make sure that they keep getting that recurring business from you. And I was just like, no. I don't want to... I'm not going to pay for a recurring... I'm not going to pay a recurring fee for some subscription service just to watch movies or play games. And I didn't feel the need to try to keep my YouTube channel going, because like I said, that would just be a constant recurring thing. Like I would always need to, again, in quotation marks, stay relevant. I would always need to do the next big thing and try to chase the next big trend, and that was not something I wanted to do. So I gave up on it, and my approach to YouTube has been kind of half-hearted for that reason over the last almost 15 years or so, because it's just like, if I feel like making a video, I'll make a video, but I think people have moved on from me, so that's fine. If people moved on from me, then I'll move on from YouTube. Again, I have other things that I can do with my life. But yeah, I hear so many changes happening in the world. I hear so much talk about how things are so bad because of too many subscriptions, and I'm just like, well, okay, then don't subscribe to things. Don't give your money to Netflix, etc. if you don't want to. So people always say that this place is based on LA and Hollywood, but you can see that's not true, because if you read that sign there, it says Vinewood, not Hollywood. See? Hollywood, Vinewood, not the same. They are different places. They're not, one's not based on the other. What did I hit? Good grief. Yeah, more pop-up, I guess. That happens to me, unfortunately, fairly regularly. You're flying around and you hit something invisible, and then like a few seconds later it suddenly shows up. The game loads hitboxes before it loads the actual visible graphics. Kind of unfortunate, but oh well. Anyhow. Yeah, see, like that. Like if I was going faster, I would have hit those trees. Those trees just suddenly showed up. I would have hit them before I saw them, before I would have seen them if I'd been going faster. Anyway, so yeah, I just hear so much bad stuff happening in the world now with these subscription services. I'm just like, yeah, don't use them. I don't subscribe to things for that reason, because it's dumb. I don't see any reason to pay a monthly fee for something that doesn't make sense to me. I avoid that as much as possible. The only recurring fees I have are my rent for my house, like where I live, and electricity. That's it. Those are literally the only two things. Those are literally my only two recurring expenses that I pay monthly. And food, but food's not a monthly expense. That's like a daily expense. So yeah, food, rent, and electricity. That's basically all I pay for. And I could actually live without those things, but I choose not to. I would prefer to live indoors and have electricity than not have it. I could live without electricity probably, but I choose not to. I think the $60 a month I pay for electricity is probably worth the benefits, to be honest. Anyhow, the only really cool thing that's happening now is AI. I hear a lot of people complaining about AI as well, and I don't really know why, because I actually think AI is really cool. It does some really cool things. I mean, yes, it will probably end up taking a lot of our jobs, and I'm not happy about that. But we need to learn to live with that, because I'm pretty sure AI is not going away at this point. It's too important. People are not just going to get rid of it. You know, we need to learn how to work with AI instead of against AI. We need to be able to live and coexist in the same world with AI, because it ain't going away at this point. You might love it or hate it, or have mixed feelings, or just be neutral or apathetic towards it. Unfortunately, it makes no difference. AI is probably going to be with us for the rest of human existence. Unless there really is some literal apocalypse that wipes out our infrastructure and leaves us without electricity and computing and internet connections and things like that. But that's another story. But yeah. Honestly, like I said, you know, I don't use a lot of these things. I don't use streaming services. I don't really use a smartphone. I mean, I have a smartphone from my work, but I just use it mostly for work things. I don't have a personal smartphone that I use for anything, because I don't have much use for such a thing, so I don't, you know, I don't own a smartphone myself. But when I think about these things, it kind of reminds me of why I like these old computer games, because these old computer games were not about loot boxes, they were not about microtransactions, they were not about always-on internet connections forcing you to always be connected to the internet, they were not about achievements and leaderboards and all this stuff. It was just about, you know, going out into the game world and having fun in the game's virtual game world, whatever the game was about. You know, in a way, it's kind of staying true to myself, because one thing that I've always really loved is just these old computer games. Like, a lot of my personal life philosophy, honestly, can be probably best understood and explained and visualized and summarized through old computer games, or at least within the context of old computer games. And that's partly due to how and why I play games and the types of games that I play. I mean, games for me, I think I've said this many times before, games for me are mostly about exploration. I don't do multiplayer games because I don't feel the need to compete against people. I'm not here to win. I'm not here to defeat someone and say, yeah, I'm the best because I defeated somebody else. That's kind of... it's not really a thrill that appeals to me very much. Maybe when I was younger, it appealed to me more, but I did it a few... You know, I won a couple of online games, and I was like, well, now what? You know, the thrill passes pretty quickly. I'm not really here to defeat anyone. I'd rather work together with people. I'd rather work with people. I'd rather work together with people than work against people or try to compete against people. Like I said with my YouTube channel as well, there are some people who are who have gotten much more popular on YouTube than I have. Even within this space, like even within the Sierra game space, like there's that what's the name of that one guy? Gosh, I actually forget his YouTube name. Something like, hold on, let me pause and check. I'm going to use my this is where it's convenient to have a telephone. I'm actually going to use my company smartphone. I'm going to use my company-issued smartphone to look up the guy's name, because I forget his YouTube channel name. I could do this on my computer as well, but it's less convenient because I've got this game filling up the screen, so I can just take out my smartphone and do a quick lookup of something online. What should I search for? Hold on. He started off making a lot of videos about speedruns of Sierra games. One Short Eye, that's the guy. His channel name is One Short Eye. Right now, as I'm looking at it, it has 86,800 subscriptions, which is getting close to the point where he could actually turn that into his full-time job if he wanted to. Maybe he has, I don't know. And when I think about it, you know, I do sometimes think about it and think, hey, that could have been me. You know, I could have been as big as that if I'd really wanted to. Because he mostly makes videos about old Sierra adventure games as well. So, you know, if I'd really wanted to, I could have grown my channel probably quite a lot. But it's probably better that I didn't, because I didn't really want YouTube to be my full-time job. And again, there's no bitterness. Like, I don't resent him for being so popular. I'm happy for him. Like, honestly, I'm happy that he's achieved such success and popularity. Like, more, I mean, he makes great videos about Sierra adventures, so more power to him. He's a great content creator. I'm happy for him. But I mean, you know, I don't usually play newer games. I don't usually play AAA games because most of those games are more about impressing the player than having fun. You know, a lot of newer games are just more about having great graphics and an impressive sort of cinematic experience and story than just having fun playing the game. That's kind of why I mean, it goes two ways. On the one hand, a lot of new games are like that. They're about they're just about trying to impress the player, which doesn't appeal to me very much. On the other hand, to be fair, I have to say, the sandbox style of game has become kind of standard now. Most games today are kind of variations on an open world sandbox, which actually I really like, in a sense, because that was always kind of the game. I made a video before kind of saying that was sort of the natural evolution of computer games. I mean, it was kind of a riff on something that Yahtzee said in one of his videos, but basically I was kind of saying the same thing, that in a way, games have sort of been naturally evolving towards the open world sandbox model for decades now. But it was something that DOS games couldn't do very well because they didn't really have the technology, they didn't have the storage space to make something like, you know, like this, like what you're seeing now. So a lot of newer games basically have copied the GTA model and have done basically the same sort of thing. They've basically just made a huge open world that you can explore. But I've not found a game yet that really sort of evokes the same wondrous sense of exploration. That experience that I described of just suddenly flying up in a helicopter, just flying into the sunrise, seeing the sun coming up over the horizon and listening to music, just that beautiful lucid moment of just, you know, that experience, that feeling of freedom, because, you know, I wasn't on a mission. Like, one thing that irks me is that a lot of games sort of force you to stick with the storyline. You have to do missions and things like that. Even today, a lot of games don't really let you explore. Like, even though they're open world sandboxes, they don't really let you explore that sandbox very well, which just seems dumb to me. It seems like it's defeating the point. Why have a sandbox if you're not going to let the player explore it? But I think there are probably some games that do that pretty well today, which I just haven't played because I don't have a computer that will play them. Like, I mean, an example of a game that I, you know, would like to play that I haven't played yet is, I mean, an obvious example is Cyberpunk 2077. Seems like a great game. Seems kind of like it does the GTA thing of, you know, you can go on missions and have, you know, advance the story if you want. But if you just want to drive around or walk around and enjoy the landscape, you can do that as well. Which is something that I very much like. And, you know, I'm curious to try the game. I just haven't played it because I don't have a computer that will run it. I don't have a powerful enough computer to actually run Cyberpunk 2077 very well. Because I mostly play older games, and I don't play enough new games to justify the cost of, you know, sinking money into a new gaming PC. So I haven't bought one yet. Maybe someday I will. Someday. I'll probably play Cyberpunk someday. But that day is not today. Or tomorrow. Someday, sometime, somewhere, somehow. Anyway. So yeah, my point with all of this, I mean, it's... I know I'm rambling a lot, and so it kind of sounds like I don't have a point. But, I do have a point. My point is that technology has kind of gotten a lot worse in a lot of ways, because a lot of it is, again, about these microtransactions, about these subscriptions, about trying to take your money, about finding ways to chip you out of your money instead of provide you with a good entertainment experience. But for me, the solution is very simple. Just don't let it. Don't do that then. Like, don't sign up for subscriptions. Don't buy games that have microtransactions, etc. I mean, it seems like a pretty easy solution. I guess for some people it's easier said than done, but that's what I've always done, and it seems like it's worked out fairly well for me. But then again, I'm also the person who still doesn't have a smartphone, so maybe I'm just a dinosaur who's kind of out of touch with the times, and, you know, living in a previous era. I don't know. Maybe it is a factor of age. I don't know. But then again, like, I'm totally on board with the AI thing. Like, I actually actively, enthusiastically use AI, like all the new AI tools, not just ChatGPT, but the other ones as well, because I really, like I said, I really like AI. So I don't think it's just a matter of age. I don't think it's just a matter of belonging to a previous era of history, because I have totally, like, gotten on the AI thing, and I'm enthusiastically using it to generate stuff, you know, to use these generative transformers. I mean, they're powerful. They actually do a lot. They can do a lot of things, and they can improve your life if you know how to use them well. You know how to use them to create stuff that's useful and or interesting to you. So I don't think that it's just a matter of age. I don't think it's just that I'm too old to get it, because I am following new trends and new developments. I just think that subscriptions are dumb. I don't want to commit to giving some company my money every month. I only want to give money if I'm actually buying something that I'm going to make use of. Otherwise, no, I don't want to subscribe. I don't want to have recurring costs. So I don't think that's an age thing. I think that's just mentality. So yeah, you know how Steve Jobs, like, people who are fans of Steve Jobs remember his famous sort of phrase. I don't think it was even his phrase. I think he stole it. But he gave that speech, and he said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." And people thought, wow, such great wisdom. Those were the wisest words ever spoken by anyone in human history. Stay hungry, stay foolish. What great words, what great wisdom. I don't think people even knew what it meant. Like, stay hungry, stay foolish. What is that supposed to mean? That's like the dumbest advice I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I think I understand. In thinking about it, I think I understand what he means. I think stay hungry probably means stay ambitious. Like, don't get content to just stay where you are. Stay hungry in the sense of always want to do more with your life. Like, stay curious and try to do more things. You know, like, be hungry for novelty or development or progress or whatever. Okay, that's fair. Stay ambitious. You know, keep doing new things. Okay, cool, that's fair enough. Stay foolish. I don't want to be foolish. I think being foolish is... Honestly, it's kind of foolish to be foolish, isn't it? I think what he meant is, don't be too cautious. Like, be willing to take risks. Okay, I can agree with that too. But if you're going to take risks, then it needs to be calculated risks. I mean, if you just take, like, any risk, if you really take foolish risks, then, you know, you're gonna kill yourself, or you're going to end up destroying your life, or maybe other people's lives as well. I mean, don't be foolish. If you want to take risks, if you like taking risks, okay, that's fine. But let them be calculated risks. At least make sure that you know what you're getting into. Make sure that you understand what you're getting into and what the risks are. Don't just like plunge into things blindly because, again, you're probably going to kill yourself or totally screw up your life. And that kind of ties in with what I was saying as well. It's like, if you really want a subscription service, like if you really feel you can't live without Netflix, okay. I mean, if there's some show on Netflix that you really have to watch and you can't get anywhere else, or I mean, or any of the other streaming services like Paramount or whatever, you feel like you just can't live without it, you really want to watch it. Okay, but make sure that it's something that you really are willing to commit to, because if you're going to pay like $20 a month for it, then it better be worth it. I mean, I understand that $20 a month isn't, it's not even that much money. Like, in today's world, $20 a month it's not that big money. But still, you know, there are other things that I personally would rather do with $20 a month than give it to a streaming service. If that's what you want to use it on, then okay, you know, it's your money. You know, you can spend your money however you want, but make sure that make sure that's what you really want to do. So yeah, stay hungry, stay foolish. That's like, again, that's like, it just sounds so dumb to me. Stay retro. That's kind of like, I was thinking of like using the motto in this video, stay retro, because old games tend to be more fun. But then I realized the irony, because if I'm playing this game, you know, this is not a DOS game. This is not really it's kind of a newer game. Well, you know what's funny? I remember buying Halo. I bought like the first Halo game in, what was it, like in the year 2005, I think. And the guy at the store who sold it to me, like, actually bought this at a store. Okay, I walked into a store and bought it on DVD. Remember that? And the guy who, like the cashier who checked me out, he said, "Oh wow, you know, retro." Like, he saw it and said, "Wow, cool, retro game." And I didn't say this, but I was just like, "Are you serious? Halo was a retro game in 2005? Like, how old was Halo in 2005? Like, maybe he went in like what, 2000? Maybe a little bit before, so it's like 5 years old. Is that a retro game now?" I think of this game, this game, which I believe is, like I said, I believe this is about 20 years old now. I think of this game as a new game. Like, to me, for me, a new game is any game that came out after the year 2000. So I guess it shows my perception of time that I think of this as a new game. And to me, like, retro games, like, you know, older games or games from before the year 2000s, like from the DOS era, games from the 1980s, 1990s. So when I think about retro games, see that I almost hit that. Almost hit that thing. I actually did hit it. I tried to divert away from it and I still hit it because it just, anyway. You know, when I think about retro games, I think about games from the 1980s and 1990s. I do not think of this, GTA San Andreas. I don't think of this as a retro game, even though of course it is by most people's standards today. I mean, 20 years old is kind of retro by now, but I still think of this as a new game. So I was gonna use like the slogan "Stay retro" on this video. Maybe I still will. I guess this counts today. Today this probably counts as retro games, so I guess I can still stay retro. But it's not really about that because oh, starting to feel hungry. Uh-oh. I think I had this problem in the last GTA video that I made as well. Now I need to find somewhere to eat. Where can I eat something? Darn it. Well, the video is probably almost over anyhow. I didn't really want to say that much, so I've probably said most of what I wanted to say anyhow. But my point is that it's not really about staying retro, because new games, like, I do play some new games and they can be fun as well. You know, it's not about the point is not that games necessarily have to be good just because they're old. Like, to be frank, a lot of older games are not very good. There are a lot of old games, you know, a lot of DOS games from the 1980s and 1990s, which actually were not very good. And they've just kind of been lost to time because they weren't very good. I mean, we remember the good games. We remember all the really cool, you know, Sierra and LucasArts adventures, because those were among the best games of the time. We've forgotten about a lot of the cruddy games that, you know, got forgotten because they weren't very good. And the same kind of holds... There we go, there's a burger shot. We'll land here at burger shot and eat here. And the same kind of holds true for new games today. I mean, there are... Oh. Wasn't a very good landing, but GTA is very generous in how it lets you handle landings. So, we survived. Where's the entrance? Here we go. Let's go ahead and eat something here.
How may I serve you?
Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a, not a kid's meal, but a, beef tower. What's the biggest one? Meat steak. I think this is the biggest one. Let's just buy
I have enjoyed serving
a
you,
couple
sir.
of these.
Munch your way to bliss, sir. Slurp my burger, sir. Hope we see you again, sir.
What does that mean? Schlorp my burger. What, like... Does the word schlorp have any meaning? Like, I would have thought that it would mean slurp, maybe, but you slurp a drink, you don't slurp a burger. But you said, schlorp my burger, sir. I assume it just means to eat the burger very quickly. But I do not know. I'm not a linguist. If anyone knows what schlorp means, please inform me, because I would like to know. Anyhow. Yeah, so a lot of old games were not very good. And they've been mostly forgotten, probably justifiably so. And a lot of new games actually are really good. You know, there are new games that are actually very good, and I wouldn't want to imply that they're bad games or boring games or games that are not worth your time just because they're new. I mean, that wouldn't be fair. Some new games are actually very good. That's another thing that I never really did with my channel. It's, I think, another reason why I kind of had some issues with my YouTube channel. I didn't want to form any partnerships with people making new games. Other people do. Like, other people, like, Bart, DOS Gamer, or DOS Gamert, he was involved with the re-releases of... you know, Crystal Caves, like Crystal Caves HD. He kind of plugged it on his YouTube channel, and you know, those kinds of sort of sponsor tie-ins are one way that you can make your YouTube channel more prominent, I guess. You know, like kind of get involved with people making games today. I never really wanted to do that. I never really wanted to do that just because I didn't want it to become about money. I've kind of been of two minds about that, because I do want to encourage people who are making new games. Obviously, I do want to, you know, I do wish the best of luck to people who are making games today. But when people sent me their games, or they send me invite codes to download their games and said, hey, do you want to feature a game on your channel? I usually said no, just because that opens up a whole other world of, you know, getting involved with people who are in it for the money and trying to use your channel as advertising. And you know, I mean, the thing is, I understand, you know, publicity is important. If you're making, you know, if you're making a new game, then it's nice to give a little publicity to people who are working on something new and cool and creative. But at the same time, I didn't want to become a target for advertisers and marketers. I didn't want my channel to become a, you know, solicited by people who are just trying to use it for publicity. So, as a matter of policy, I usually said no, even if the game looked really good. Because I got offers from some developers who actually made games that looked pretty nice, but I usually just said no, sorry, and didn't feature the games on my channel. And again, I don't regret that. I hope people understand my reasons why I chose to behave that way. But it probably did also give the appearance of making me seem closed off, which I guess I am in a way. But my point with all this is just that I'm aware that my popularity on YouTube has been declining for about 15 years now. And I'm okay with that. I've made peace with that idea. I could have pursued more fame and more riches and so on, but I didn't, and I'm okay with that choice that I made. I'm okay with moving on and doing something else. And I'm okay still playing 30-year-old games, because in many cases those games are still the most fun for me. But anyway, what I wanted to say about that Stay Retro slogan is, it's not about, it's not really about the age of the game specifically, it's about the attitude of the game. It's about playing games that just let you buy the game once, and that's it, and then you have the game. So, you know, no microtransactions, no trying to upsell you, no trying to sell you like some deluxe version of the game, which has extra features, which cost like another $20 or whatever. No trying to force you to download additional things. No trying to force you to have an internet connection while you're playing, or do other, you know, all these things that come with a lot of games today. A lot of things that have ruined AAA gaming in the world today. You know, retro gaming is not, it's not just about the age of the games. It's about a spirit of just, you buy a game once, you own the game, that's it. There are no further financial transactions involved. You play the game however you want, as long as you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And the game just kind of lets you explore and do stuff that you want to do in the game. I guess while we're on this topic, can anyone recommend a really good game that's kind of like this? Like a game, because again, I really like exploring. I mean, I've been flying around in a helicopter now for almost an hour, and I'm not tired of it. I can just keep doing this, just kind of fly around and explore these places. I don't feel the need to advance the story. I don't feel the need to do missions. I don't feel the need to challenge myself. I just love seeing the game world sort of unfold beneath me. I haven't played a lot of recent sandbox games that really do this very well. I played Just Cause. I have Just Cause 2, and it's a fun game. I mean, I enjoy it, but it doesn't quite evoke the same sense of wonder in me, because, you know, it's more about the missions, it's more about blowing stuff up. It does not create the same sort of sense of wonder in just exploring the environment that GTA does. Can anyone recommend a game that sort of evokes that same sense in the way that this game does? And hopefully not something too new. I actually have GTA 5, and I've never played it, because I don't have a computer that'll run it. I ran it once. Actually, I ran it once, and I played it for like 2 minutes, and it was unplayably slow. Like, literally just like unplayable. It was like, I had like less than 1 frame per second, literally less than 1 FPS. I was like, yeah, no, that can wait. That can wait till I have a better computer. So GTA 5 might be nice, but I can't play it because I don't have a computer to run it on yet. But something like this, something that's 20 years old, that just sort of has the same sense of just wander around and just explore all the little nuances of this big little virtual world. This is what I miss. This is something that I don't feel like a lot of games today really provide. So yeah, stay retro, my friends, and that doesn't mean that you have to play only old games. It just means, you know, play games that let you play them as games, and, you know, don't play games that try to treat you as a sucker, trying to pull you in for more money. It's just kind of outrageous that games do that today. Oh yeah, and happy Christmas to everyone. I forgot. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is because it's Christmas Eve. I'm making this on the evening of December 24th. Tomorrow's Christmas. I forgot about that. Because I don't really celebrate Christmas either, because I don't have anyone to celebrate it with or any place to go to celebrate it, so I don't really bother. But if you do, then happy Christmas to all the folks out there. Hope that you have a good day tomorrow. And after that too, hopefully you have a good further days after tomorrow as well. Have a good rest of your life. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to say hi to everyone. Just kind of wanted to ramble for a bit because allegedly some people enjoy hearing me ramble. So if you enjoy hearing me ramble, then hopefully it was worth it. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, you probably turned off the video a long time ago anyhow, so yeah. That'll be that. I'll just go ahead and, I've just hit 1 hour with this video, so I'll just go ahead and land atop this, this hill here. Oops. Come on. There we go. And just kind of step over to this ridge here, or to the side of this ridge, I guess, and look down at admittedly not the most beautiful landscape in the world, but perhaps a place where a young rapper from Los Santos can enjoy a moment of quiet contemplation, reflecting upon what he's done with his life and what he will do with his life, and how beautiful the world sometimes is. Alright. Well, I guess I've wasted everyone's time enough, so I will go ahead and cut the video here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and once again, have a good Christmas, and I wish a good 2026 to everyone out there. Take care, folks, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye for now.